from Ohio State University. I, Afsha Aziz, on behalf of UniBrijj, along with my colleague Nupur Anand, would like
Hi.
to welcome you all to the Student Engagement Program. And I'm feeling extremely proud to announce that today we have one of the topmost universities of the United States, that is Okhlahoma State University. And similarly, we have one of the topmost schools of India, that is City Montessori School, Lucknow, with us. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here for this session. Before beginning this informative session, let me introduce the panelists for today's session. From the university, we have Ms. Audrey Bridges, who is working in the capacity of International Recruitment Specialist. Welcome, Audrey. And we have Ms. Carla Gutierrez from College of Arts and Sciences, who will be briefing about computer science programs being offered by the university. Oklahoma University is among the top 50 public universities in USA, and it has been ranked number 1 in Oklahoma State. It has been ranked as 92 best value colleges in the United States and also 10 best value engineering colleges. From the school, we have Mr. Shashank Srivastava. Welcome, Shashank, who is working in the capacity of Coordinator Career Counseling Cell. Thank you so much, Shashank, for coordinating for this session throughout the, I think I would say for the last 10 days, we are in touch and we have been coordinating. Thank you so much, Shashank, for all your support.
Thank you so much.
So let me just speak about City Montessori School. City Montessori School is a co-ed K-12 day running in 18 campuses across the city of Lucknow, which is the state capital of Uttar Pradesh. It was founded in 1959 by Dr. Jagdish and Bharti Gani with the motto Jai Jagat, that means victory to the world, based on the ancient wisdom of Vasudev Kutumbakam, that means the whole earth is my family, and inspired by the teaching of Mahatma Gandhi, who is known as the father of nation, and social reformer Sant Vinoba Bhave. Jai Jagat has been the school's greeting from the beginning. In 2002, CMS was awarded the UNESCO Prize for Peace Education, the only school worldwide to have been conferred this accolade for promoting values of education for peace and tolerance. And in 2013, the Guinness Book of Records certified CMS as the world's largest school in a city. So we are going to have a session with the world's largest school in the world's largest school. So I would like to thanks to all the students who have been waiting patiently for this session and who have decided to join and get the knowledge of this university and the program offerings for undergrad students. Before we start the session, may I request Mr. Shashank Srivastava to give us an insight about the school. Although I have briefed a very little thing about the school, but Shashank, if you can please let us know more about it. Over to you. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you to UniBrijj and Afsaji and Nupoji for organizing this particular session with the university. Thank you to you also. So I think most of the brief you have given about the school, what school is all about. So I'll just mention some more details about the school. Like City Montessori School has around 18 campuses, and all those campuses are based in Lucknow. And out of those 18 campuses, we have 10 campuses which are till grade 12. Uh, and while rest are the junior campuses till grade 10 or grade 8. So in comprising of all those 10 campuses, we have around 2,500 to 3,000 students who give their board exam on a yearly basis. So around 3,000 students graduate each year from CMS from grade 12 itself. So these many students are there in grade 12, and out of these 3,000 students, there are say around 5 to 10% students who think of an option for study abroad. And most of the students do focus of getting their admission in US, maybe because of the certain factors that they feel like. And those who look for the option for the study abroad in US, out of those, most of them definitely look for the program of computer science program for as their undergraduate courses. So yeah, definitely study abroad is an option for the CMS students. And if we just present you last year's data, we had 92 students who had got the admission offers from various universities across the world. So it comprises of US, UK, Hong Kong, Singapore. So various countries they do apply for, but majority of them apply for the US universities. So this has been the trend for CMS for the study abroad, and we have students joining in this session who are interested in computer science, learning more about computer science program, or maybe some of them would be applying for the universities in US in the coming months. So we have just introduced those students and they're joining in this session. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Shashank, for this insight. I hope Audrey and Carla must be apprised like now by the students what they're looking for, and we have all the students who are looking for admission in US now for the session. Uh, Before asking or requesting Audrey and Carla to start their presentation, I would like to tell all the students you can type your questions in the Q&A tab when it comes to your mind, and your each and every questions will be catered by the university representative. Thank you so much. Now I would like to request Audrey and Carla to please start the presentation. Over to both of you. Thank you.
All right, thank you all so much. I'm so excited to be able to share a bit this morning about Oklahoma State, and I'm very excited to have Carla join to share about our computer science program in particular. Hold on just a moment, let me get my screen shared and there we go. All right, so yes, and thank you for the introduction. So this is Oklahoma State University. As Asha shared, my name is Audrey. I'm the International Recruitment Specialist here at Oklahoma State, and I'm joined today by Carla Gutierrez that works in our College of Arts and Sciences, which is home to our computer science program. So for the first little bit of the presentation, I'm going to go over just kind of our admissions requirements, some scholarship details, and then I'll turn it over to Carla to share about computer science in particular, and then we can wrap up with talking about campus life and our housing and those topics as well. So if you do have any questions along the way, feel free to drop them into the chat box. I'm actually going to start with a video, and hopefully it, at the beginning of it, not the end. Hopefully it plays okay over Zoom.
I think you should come to OSU because OSU has an incredible campus with modern facilities, amazing staff who is always willing to help. We have a community that's very close, and whether you're international or you're a local student, you'll always have resources to help you with anything.
We have students from over 100 different nations representing graduate students, undergraduate students in every one of our academic programs.
People here are extraordinarily friendly, very welcoming, very nice.
I don't feel like a stranger coming from a different place.
I'm from a really big city in Mexico, so transitioning from a big city to a small town I thought was going to be very difficult. After time, I realized that the size didn't really matter. Stillwater feels a lot safer. You have that comfort that there's always international students around, so you don't feel alone, you don't feel isolated.
I would recommend anyone to live on campus.
You get to meet other students as well as
You get to do different events with them. You're so close to your classes. So even if you want to stay up late in the library, you don't have to worry about driving all the way back home. Without OSU and the scholarships that OSU provided, I wouldn't have been able to go on an internship abroad, and I wouldn't have been able to learn about my field of study. I found a lot of resources that helped me get scholarships as well as helped me find the right major, and from then on, I knew that this was the right place to be. One of the important resources that OSU offers to international students is the Office of International Students and Scholars, where we help you with immigration, taxes, work-related things, just anything like that, which can be very intimidating if you don't know.
The International Student Organization has helped me a lot in terms of just improving my English, improving my self-confidence.
We offer sporting events, cultural events, food events. Sometimes what international students are looking for when they come to the US is to try new food. You can try food from the US or you can try food from other countries, and it's all here in Stillwater.
We had the university audited by QS, which is a United Kingdom-based company that evaluates universities. And at the end of that process, they rated Okhlahoma State as a 5-star institution. So across the board, student experience, academics, quality of research, impact, quality of faculty, Okhlahoma State is among the very best universities.
I think the theories combined with the experience in the real life really prepares me better for my higher education.
We're proud of the infrastructure that we've built out, the academic infrastructure, some new facilities that have recently been built, the state-of-the-art McKnight Center for the Performing Arts, the new Spears School of Business building. Much of the building is dedicated to student workspace, not just the traditional academic classroom, but places where students can come together, work on projects together that really begin to socialize them into what life is going to be like in the corporate world. Likewise, the Endeavor undergraduate research building primarily for engineering students pioneers a new style of learning where students can go in and begin working on projects that really could be potentially world-changing projects.
It's a very motivational environment to be in, so I can get to my goal or where I want to be in the future. I just know that I really enjoyed this program that we have here in Okhlahoma State University.
We have amazing research going on, everything from advanced engineering research to research in biomedical devices to the traditional agricultural sciences for which Okhlahoma State is well known, but then including the social sciences, the humanities, and every other discipline as well.
I would recommend Okhlahoma State University to other international students.
I think what students develop from spending time at Okhlahoma State is a very strong sense of community. They will find a very welcoming environment, they'll find a very safe environment, and they will walk away with a degree that they can be proud of.
All right, so hopefully that gives a pretty good snapshot of different facilities across campus, and you get to hear from some of the other international students. So we'll just jump in now to our admissions requirements.
Hello, and welcome to Okhlahoma State University. Oh. My name's Meredith, and I'm a marketing
Hold on
senior.
just a moment.
I'm Dante, a psychology senior.
And this is Josh Dante. Where's Josh?
There we go. It keeps playing. All right, so our admissions requirements for international students, we are looking for, having issues. We are looking for that 3.0 high school GPA, so for incoming freshmen, and then we will need the English language proficiency exam score as well. So traditionally that has been a 5.5 IELTS or a 61 or above TOEFL. Due to COVID and challenges that we're all facing with that and testing centers being closed, we are currently able to accept the Duolingo. So any student entering, if you're planning on coming in the spring or next fall, we will be able to accept the Duolingo exam with a score of 85. And then transfer, if you happen to start university there in India and want to look into transferring at a later time, it goes by the number of credit hours you would currently have and that college GPA. So for our application materials, it all starts with our online application, and you will have access to this presentation afterwards, so you can access all of the links that you see throughout. So the application is online. We'll also need a $90 international application fee. So this is payable by credit or debit online. And then 4 application materials. So a copy of your passport identification page, your English language proficiency scores, your transcripts, and the financial guarantee form. So transcripts, we are able to accept unofficial copies from international students for the purposes of admission. We recognize different areas around the world might be a little bit more difficult to get those official copies. So for the purpose of admission, we can't accept unofficial copies, but once you're admitted, we will need those official copies eventually. And then the financial guarantee form, this is a form that is required of all international students in some capacity, no matter where you decide to go in the United States. This form just shows that you have the funds available to pay for your education, and it allows us to issue your I-20 so that you're able to obtain your student visa. Our deadlines, we do have rolling admission, so you don't have to, if you already are interested for next fall, you can go ahead and apply. I encourage students to just the sooner the better once you know, just in case there are any bumps along the way, it's always good to get a head start. So for the fall semester, we're looking at a June 1 deadline, and for the spring semester, it's November 1. And these stay the same, so if you're not applying for next year, it'll be the same for 2022 as well. Okay, and our estimated cost of attendance for international students, you can see that total at the bottom there, $45,330. This is the amount that will need to be reflected on the financial guarantee form. However, I kind of like to break it down. So the tuition and fees portion is $28,220, and this is based on an entire academic year, so a 30 credit hour estimate, which is pretty standard here in the US. And then also your housing and meals, books and supplies, and we even include about $5,000 worth of personal expenses. And I do point this out, just if you are looking at other universities throughout the United States, make sure that when you're comparing the total, you know, take into account if they include also personal expenses, because it's not the same across the board. So just make sure, as we would say, that you're comparing apples to apples or oranges to oranges. To help with the cost, we do offer scholarships. So our university assured scholarships are going to be based on your GPA and a test score. And these are automatic awards. So you meet the requirements, you don't have to do any extra work. It's just going to automatically be applied to your account after admission. So it's one application, basically. Your application to the university will also serve as your application for these scholarships. Once you're admitted, we'll go back, look at your GPA, look at any test scores that you submitted, and again, it's automatic. So we'll apply that for you. We also have university competitive scholarships. So these would be after you're admitted. You'd want to have a conversation with your advisor or your university and the academic college that you're a part of, and see what other funding opportunities are available for you. So these are going to vary in the number and how much is a part of each award. But for our assured scholarships, so these are the ones that you don't have to complete a separate application for, they're just part of your admissions application. This is the award chart here. So we're looking for a minimum of a 3.25 GPA. And then depending on these test scores, you do not have to have all of them. So let's just say that you applied, you have a 6.5 on the IELTS, and you're coming in with a 3.25 GPA. So you're going to automatically receive this $24,000 award, or $6,000 per year. Alternatively, if you happen to have taken the SAT, we do not require it for admission, but if you have taken it, you can submit those scores to us, and you have your 6.5 IELTS, but you actually did better on the SAT. We'll recognize the award, or excuse me, the amount the score that gets you the greater amount. So if you come in with a 1260 SAT, again with that 3.25 GPA, then we will award you the $28,000 or $7,000 per year. So that kind of covers our admissions procedures, materials, and the scholarship. So this next portion of the presentation will focus a bit more on why OSU. So we'll talk about academics and get to computer science here in a minute, as well as housing, different traditions that we have here on campus. So I do like to point out as well, we have this website, this is linked here, that's available in multiple languages. So if that's a good resource for you, do keep in mind, and you'll have access to this link later on. So a little bit about OSU. We were founded as a university in 1890. We are very much a true, authentic American college town with our population of about 50,000, and almost half of that is the student population. And about 26% of that student population is from out of state, so that would include our international students. We have more than 500 student organizations. This will be something that we talk about as well. But first, we're going to start with academics. So we have 5 academic colleges across the campus, and as well as a top 10 honors college. So our honors college is ranked nationally as a top 10 program. We have more than 200 majors available, and as you heard in the video, there are many, many opportunities for hands-on research. That's really at the root of everything that we do here. So if you are interested in research, you don't have to be, but if you are, then there's definitely opportunity for you here. And you can see, again, the QS 5-star university rating was mentioned in the video, and then a couple of our other top public university rankings there. So here I've listed our most popular programs for international students. Again, these are top 10 amongst 200, so there's something for everyone. But you can see them there on the left-hand side, and computer science does happen to be one of the top 10 programs. So I'm excited to hear more about it and to share more. Carla, feel free to take it away. I can stop sharing my screen if you need to share yours.
Yes, please.
Carla, I've made you the host. You can share your screen.
Perfect. Okay, can you all see my PowerPoint? Yes, perfect.
Yes.
Hi everyone, my name is Carla and I work with the College of Arts and Sciences. Like it has been mentioned before, the computer science program is housed within the College of Arts and Sciences. The College of Arts and Sciences is the biggest college that we have on campus. We have over 130 degree options available for you. So for sure, there's a place for you to call home. And I will go a little bit into the different programs that we have, but I will go more in depth into our computer science program. So if you want to follow us on social media, everyone's on social media now. We are also there. So you can follow us in @OKStateCast into any of our social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. The one that I will encourage, it's Instagram, that it's very focused in our prospective students, and it's very student driven, which means that our current students are the ones taking care of our social media. So like I said, we have over 130 degree options for you. So your major starts here. What do we mean by that? Even if you decide not to be a computer science major and you go outside of the CAS programs, you will take classes within class. Here in the US, we have what we call the Gen Eds, the general education courses that everyone has to take, and all of those go through CAS. So you will have contact with us at a point if you decide to come to Oklahoma State. And these are all the programs that we have. We're divided into 3 main categories. We have arts and humanities, social sciences, and math and sciences. And the math and sciences, that's where computer sciences falls under. And I'm the main representative for that specific pillar. We have 3 different representatives. You can definitely connect with either one of us. We'll be happy to share more information with you. We can make one-on-one appointments. We're happy to meet with you over Zoom, via email, phone call, whatever works for you. Something very, very important to bring up about Oklahoma State as a whole is that we are a family. And at the Cass College, we definitely consider ourselves a Cass Cowboy family. And what do families do? We're there for each other. We make sure that everyone's successful within the family. And because of that, we have a lot of tools that are available for you. So all of these tools are at your fingertips. They're all across campus and they're free for all of our students. So if you're having issues with math, reading, writing, if you're wanting to learn a foreign language, statistics, we have individual tutoring. So all of these resources, again, are available for you at no charge. So arts and humanities, these are the ones that are the majors that are represented within this pillar. Again, I will not go much in depth into it since that's not what you guys are interested in, but it's good for you to know that they are available. And within the arts, something that you can definitely do is connect with them via their different organizations. And like Audrey says, she will talk more to you all about the different organizations, but the 2 main art organizations that we have on campus, it's the ones that are part of the Greenwood School of Music. And for example, marching band. So if you play any instruments, you can definitely be part of marching band, maybe jazz ensemble. If you sing, we have choir, we have different vocal ensembles. We also have the Department of Theater. If you're into acting, if you're into creating things, you have opportunities on and off stage. So maybe stage design, custom design, all of these things. It's great for you to get involved with them. And they have a brand new building that this is where all of this place get put together, which is the McKnight Center of Performing Arts. We also have a few languages that you can learn through CAS. And if you want to learn a 3rd language, or if you're already in the process and want to get better at it, we can definitely help you with that. We have 7 different languages as minors that you can learn from the beginning, or even if you're already, like I said, a little bit learning into it, we can just help you make it better. And then social sciences, these are the programs that are represented in the social science. And what we're here for, the math and sciences. So the 2 programs that I will talk to you about, it's the computer science program and the mathematics program. So computer science, we are right now in the process of getting ABIT accreditation. ABIT, it's an outside source that accredits universities, and they give us basically a seal of approval for different programs within the engineering and science fields. This means that if you graduate from Oklahoma State and you're looking for a job, your employer will know that not only are you graduating from a top school, you're also graduated from a top program because of that outside source. So within computer science, you will learn about virtual reality. You can learn about app development. So depending on what you want to do, that's what your courses will focus on. The 3 main languages that you learn within computer science are Java, C++, and Python. So if you are familiar with those, that's what you will be going more in depth with us. And I'm going to share with you a little video that we put together. Sorry. So this is a tour of some of our computer science facilities. We put this together because of COVID. Our students that come to campus for tours, not everything is open for them to walk in, but they wanted to see what facilities we have. So that's why we put this together. Sorry, tell me that my sharing screen got stopped. Can you all see the video? Are you able to see it or no?
No, actually, we haven't.
Okay.
Let me make you host once again. Carla, please check once again.
Let me, yeah. Sure.
We can see the video, but audio is not.
Okay, I'll go ahead and send it to you. It's a 7-minute long video, but just for you to see, if I want to, let me point some of the things out of the video, so I will talk through it instead. So like I was saying, there are 3 languages that you learn. We have advisors that are available for you at every single step of the way. So they help you with which courses to pick, with what classes next, all of these questions that you might have as a student. We have computer labs available. So we have our professors that are available to be with you, like Dr. Mayfield. He's mainly in charge of virtual reality and app development, and he has courses into those 2 topics, and he's in charge of 2 different labs. So it's the virtual reality lab and what we call the Mac lab. In the Mac lab, that's where you can definitely learn how to create the apps. And we have graduate students also working with us that they are working on different, we have students that are working on different types of, sorry, I'm having some issues here. There we go. So we have students that are working on different type of research. Like Audrey said, we are a Research One institution, so our research is very well known. And our professors are also very well known across the nation. So if you work under any of them, you will learn a lot about the research portion of computer science. So if you want to go into a graduate program, or if you want to go into a doctoral program, this is a great start. Another thing to point out is that we do have what we call 4+1, which means that typically it will take you 4 years to finish a bachelor's degree and then 2 more years to finish a master's degree. Within computer science, we have the 4+1, which means that you will complete them both within 5 years instead. Mathematics it's another one of our programs. The reason why I brought it up is because computer science is very math oriented. So you will already be taking a lot of math courses within your computer science degree. So it's easy for you to do a double degree in computer science and mathematics, or get a minor in mathematics. And what I mean by easy, it's not that the courses will be easy peasy. It just means that since there's a lot of overlap, there's not a lot of extra classes that you have to take. So it's a great opportunity to take advantage of. We also have a lot of opportunities within CAS for you to take advantage of outside of the classroom. We have studying abroad opportunities that you can go anywhere you want in the world for 1 week all the way to a year. So we have short-term and long-term different opportunities, and we have scholarships that are dedicated just for studying abroad. We have research experience that starts your freshman year, which means that you can work with a professor one-on-one since your first year with us, and you can learn about whatever research they're working on, and you can help them develop it. You can help them with all the hands-on experience. We also have pre-professional advising available if you're interested into going into the health field or the law field, which our computer science program, it's great for either one of those fields. Another short program that we have, or like what we call an accelerated program, it's the CAS to MBA degree. The CAS to MBA is same thing, just like I mentioned with the computer science master's degree. Instead of 6 years, it takes you 5 years. And at the end of those 5 years, you will have a master's of business administration. And for you all, maybe another program that can interest you is we have a CAS to a Master's of Business in Data Science. So it's also within the Spear School of Business. So you work with 2 different colleges, and within 5 years, you can have a computer science degree and a data science and systems master's. We have a lot of opportunities for you to get involved, and Audrey will talk to you more on a university level. But here within the College of Arts and Sciences, we have 80 different organizations, and those can be major related. So it can be go hand in hand with your computer science major, or it can be completely outside of your degree. So we do have the computer science club. We have the video game of OSU club. We have also, again, things like that are completely outside. So dance, theater, music, things like that. Some tips for you. I will skip through this a little bit since Audrey already talked to us about those. Important dates, like Audrey said, this do not change. So even if you're not planning to come for fall 2021 and you're planning on coming for fall 2022, this don't change. So we have July 1st, that's when our application opens. So right now our application is ongoing for fall 2021. February 1st, that's when our early opportunity scholarship deadline opens. So this is when you can get those competitive scholarships. Also February 1st, that's when we open housing registrations. It's when you let us know that you want to stay on campus, which kind of facility you want to live in. And then June 1st, it's the deadline for you to accept any scholarships. So make sure you make an academic appointment with one of us if you are wanting to come either for this coming fall or maybe next fall. What an academic appointment is, it's we meet with you in a one-on-one, and we can definitely do that through Zoom. So we can tell you a lot more about our program, and you can let us know about who you are so we can tell you what program best fits you. Make sure you apply to OSU and make sure you declare your major within the College of Arts and Sciences. Why is this important? Because this is what's going to set you aside for some of our college level and department level scholarships. So this is what a completed application looks like, and Audrey already went a little bit through it. Make sure you connect with us. We're always happy to see you. We're always happy to get to know you a little bit better. And I know that there are some questions in the Q&A. I will go ahead and answer those in a little bit, and I will stay here for a little longer. If there's any other questions, please feel free to send those my way. And I will put my email address here on top again. If you want to connect with me, please do so. Send me an email and I'll be happy to meet with you on a one-on-one basis. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Carla, for sharing a bit more about arts and sciences and computer science in particular. Before I jump back into the presentation, I'm going to take a moment. I accidentally pushed answer live on a question a few moments ago and then never answered it. So someone asked about the $45,330. Is this per year? That is correct. It is per year, but do keep in mind, so you have to show it on the financial guarantee for the first year. You don't have to redo that form, every year thereafter, but you will want to be prepared for about that sum of money each academic year. But again, it has the $5,000 worth of personal expenses. I'm going to talk a bit more about Stillwater in just a few minutes, but $5,000 can carry you a very long ways here. The cost of living is excellent. So we've got that. I'll go ahead and go through these others. I want to be mindful of the time because I know, Carla, that you have to go on to something else. So does the university also offer undergraduate courses in forensic science? We don't have a forensic science degree. Carla, what would you recommend though for students interested in forensics?
So we do have some programs that can lead you to a master's degree in forensic science. So we have plant biology, pre-forensic science. We also have sociology. And what that means is your undergraduate degree will not be in forensic science, but at Oklahoma State Center of Health, they do have the master's degree in forensic science, and they have different concentrations for you to work on within forensic science. So depending on that concentration, that's the program that we will suggest for you. So if you want to go more into the working with the cadavers, then we will go with biology pre-forensics. If you want to work more on the fields and knowing what happened, then it will be more into the plant biology field. So that's why we have these one-on-one meetings, that we have different ways for you to get to your end goal, and that will depend on how exactly you want to do it. You're muted.
Yeah. Okay, and another attendee is asking about courses on animation and graphics, and I know we have graphic design within College of Arts and Sciences.
We do have graphic design, and that's what both of those courses will fall under. Within computer science, you do take some animation courses if you're interested in video gaming, because it's a whole package. We teach you about the animation portion of it, so you can do the animations for video games. You can definitely do a minor in art, and that's graphic design, and that will help you with the animations and all of those things. If you want to combine both degrees, you can definitely do so. But we do have a lot of courses for animation.
Okay. Animation and graphics, that one's. And what about astrophysics as a minor?
We have just physics as a minor. We don't have astrophysics right now. So I will definitely recommend a physics minor for that, because you can select some of the courses to go routed towards astrophysics.
Right. That's something I feel like there's usually courses, if not an entire program, that would be similar to these, these questions. And then last one for right now, are there courses in AI and robotics? Do we offer?
Yes, there are. And I will go ahead and send Audrey the video, because the video that I was trying to show you, that's what it talks about. So we have a robotics lab, and in this lab, our graduate students work in there, but there's also an undergraduate robotics class that you can take. And our graduate students right now are working in a combination of both, because the same professor is the one that works with both of them, with AI and with robotics. So for AI, I know that they're working on, one of our students, she's working on reading text for students with dyslexia. So this is how their research is going about, and that's all related to computer science. And for robotics, they do have some robots, and they're super cool. They play football with each other, and then they have a huge one that it's more intelligent, and it can communicate with natural language and this kind of thing. So we do have them both, and you can definitely concentrate all of your computer science courses into one of those areas.
All right. Thank you. And another one just popped up, but that's okay. We can go with the questions, because I think these are the most important, and I'll get back to the presentation in a second. Web designing and development courses.
That will also fall under graphic design.
Okay.
As far as the development courses, if you're talking about programming, then that goes into computer science, but the actual design of the website, that it falls also under graphic design, which is part of our arts and humanities pillar.
All right. Thanks, Carla. I would not have known all of those answers, so I'm glad you're here to share. I'll just jump back into the presentation now, but if you guys do have questions, feel free to keep filtering those into the chat box, and I'll get back to it in just a moment. All right, so now we're going to just talk a little bit more about campus and the community. So we are located in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I believe I have a map right here. So in the middle of the United States, we're about, if you're flying from Oklahoma City to either Los Angeles or New York City, it's about a 3-hour flight in either direction. To give you some context, we are in the very middle. Go back over here. We're known for our friendliness, being America's friendliest college town, our safety. We were actually recently ranked the safest in the state. And our affordability. So if you are comparing Stillwater to other cities across the US, I know San Francisco in particular, New York City, you're looking at both of those cities are more than 200% more expensive than Stillwater. So if you're wanting to experience life in the US and college in the US, this is a very affordable place to do so. You'll enjoy a really low cost of living. We have been ranked a top 8 best college town by Forbes magazine, and we've also been on the top 100 best places to live in the United States. And then as far as our safe campus and community, we do have 2 police forces here. We have one that serves the campus, and we have one that serves the community. And then some other resources that we have blue lights across campus. So these are essentially a pole with a blue light on top of it. And if there's ever an emergency situation, they're located all throughout campus. You hit the button, it connects you with the dispatcher, the blue light lights up, and you've got help on the way. Of course, we also all have our phones these days, so we do have an app as well. And through the app, we can send out emergency messages to students. And also through the app, if you are ever working late at night on campus studying, and perhaps you would just feel better with someone walking you back to your dorm, then we have a safe walk program. So you can just go to the app, tell where you are, say that you would like someone to come walk with you, and someone will actually come and meet you at the library or the union or wherever you happen to be and get you safely back to your dorm. That being said, it is a great resource to have, but I think it's also important to point out that our campus is very active. There are always students out and about. It's very well lit, and it's a very safe place to walk around even at night. So do keep that in mind. If you're looking for kind of larger cities, because Stillwater is small, it is a town, then we have Oklahoma City and Tulsa are going to be the 2 closest, and they're about 60 miles or a 1-hour drive away, but they're just under about 1 million people, I believe, and they offer quite a bit in way of entertainment and dining. Oklahoma City has the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is the basketball team. So a lot going on there. And then we're also about 4 hours from the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, which is an even larger city. And there are flights that go from Stillwater's regional airport directly to Dallas-Fort Worth. So a larger international hub, you can very easily be connected to Dallas-Fort Worth. So that's where we are. As far as our international community, I think you heard some of this again in the video. We do have over 100 countries represented here on campus, and we have a very active international student organization. So there are more than 500 to get involved with, but I highly recommend the International Student Organization just so that you're able to connect with other international students that have gone through what you will be going through in adjusting to life in a new country and college. So they offer or organize and hold multiple events throughout the year, including the Cultural Night and the International Bazaar, which you see pictured here. These are just opportunities to share a bit of their home culture with the rest of the community and the campus. We also have a Mr. and Mrs. International pageant that goes on every year. And then it's not listed here, but we also have International Olympics, so a sporting competition each year. As far as international student support, so prior to arrival, when you're working on your application, you'll be working with myself, and there are 3 other colleagues of mine in the admissions office that work with international students. We can also connect you with the colleges if you do have specific questions. So that would be Carla and her team. And we can get your questions answered prior to arrival. And then once you do arrive, International Student Services takes over from there. So you'll have them as a resource for your 4 years here on campus. We also have campus support services that I like to mention. So we have a university health clinic that's located right here on campus, so you don't have to worry about navigating the healthcare system or finding a doctor. If you do need to go to a doctor, you've got one located right here. We have counseling services available for students, so keeping in mind mental health. Sometimes it's good to just have someone to talk to. We also have tutoring, and then all of the resources that Carla shared are other examples of the ways that we're able to support students. And then something that's pretty unique to Oklahoma State, I'm not aware of another college campus having it, there might be, but we also have a pet therapy program. So we actually have registered pet therapy dogs that you can find around campus throughout the week, which is pretty unique and fun if you just want to take a break and hang out with some pet therapy dogs. As far as campus life, so as incoming freshmen, you are required to live on campus for the first year. After that, you can decide if you want to remain on campus or move off campus, maybe if you have friends that are planning to live together. Our campus housing ranges from our traditional dorm, so this will be 2 people per room with a communal bathroom, to the suites and the deluxe suites. So this is going to offer a bit more in way of privacy. Perhaps you'll have your own room, you'll share a bathroom, but with fewer people, and then you'll have a communal kitchen space. And then we have apartments, which are going to offer the most in way of privacy. So your private room, you share a bathroom only with those that are in your apartment, and you have a kitchenette area that's located in your apartment. Amongst these housing options, we have 14 living and learning communities or living and learning programs, LLPs. These are, and when you're filling out your housing registration, you can specify on there. These are opportunities to live with others that have similar interests. So they range from majors, for example, there's one for engineering to majors to just interests. So there's one for outdoor adventure. So outdoor adventure, these are students that enjoy the great outdoors, like to go hiking, enjoy going camping. But it's pretty unique because then on move-in day, you're in your new place, but you know that you already have something in common with those, with your peers that are around you. In way of dining, we have more than 30 options all across campus. So these can be found in the residence halls across the different college buildings, and of course in our student union. They range from kind of the grab and go if you're in a bit of a hurry trying to make it to class, all the way to like a sit-down restaurant that is run by our hospitality and tourism management students. So lots of options. We also have vegetarian, halal, different options as that goes. And as I said, a lot of them are found in our student union. Our student union actually happens to be the nation's largest by square footage. So there is a lot happening in our student union. So you can eat, you can drop something off at the post office. There's a barber shop. There's of course study space. There's a bookstore where you can get your books, and there's also like a spirit wear store. So if you need some OSU apparel before the football game. And then of course there's lots of campus offices located there as well. Okay, we also have the Colvin Recreation Center here on campus. So the pictures that you see here, it's a really unique, fun space. You can rock climb. So the picture there in the top right is our rock climbing wall. We have both an indoor and an outdoor pool. There are weight machines and treadmills and bicycles for your use. There are group fitness classes offered, as well as personal, either small group training or one-on-one training. And then we also have intramurals. So intramurals are basically competitive sports. We use the term intramurals, but not everyone uses that term. So I like to describe, but so, and a lot of these sports are sports that aren't necessarily normally played in the United States. So we do offer, I believe, cricket and rugby and, you know, some sports that aren't necessarily American sports, but you'll still have the opportunity to play those. And then we come back to that 500 student organizations. So again, the International Student Organization, all of those that Carla shared, and then you've got some more examples here. So you'll have organizations related to your major. There are some religious organizations, Greek life, philanthropic if you're looking to get involved in volunteer work either within the campus or the community. So lots of options to get connected, make new friends, and really find your sense of community here. So lastly, I want to speak a little bit about the Cowboy family tradition. So this is something that we really pride ourselves on in just being a Cowboy family. You will enter an environment that's challenging academically, but it's not, it's going to lift you up, and there are resources through your peers, your colleges, your professors. Everyone just wants to make sure that you are the best version of you and that you succeed. So I think some places it can be quite competitive, and while it can be challenging here, you're going to find this sense of family and this sense of community both within the classroom and outside. So that's something we really pride ourselves on. We're known for America's brightest orange. It's very common, especially on Fridays before a game day, to be wearing orange. I've got my orange on today, so does Carla. And then we're known, of course, for America's friendliest college town. I know I've mentioned that. And the nation's greatest, sorry, my cat is present in every presentation, I think. And then nation's greatest homecoming celebration. So to describe this a little bit, this is a week-long event that happens every October. Sadly, it's not happening this year, but of course we want to make sure that everyone remains safe. So we'll come back next year, and next year is actually the 100th anniversary of this celebration. So it'll be quite the celebration, quite a party. But Nation's Greatest Homecoming Celebration. So it's a week-long event. The entire campus and community comes together. You've got residential life doing things. You have the colleges entering different competitions and Greek life. So in the top left picture here, you see a picture of what we call walk-around. So there are competitions that go on all throughout the week. We've got a carnival, a chili cook-off, the sign competition. So you'll see these just giant signs that are out on our library lawn, and everything kind of culminates on Friday evening. They shut down the streets and they bring in vendors and food trucks, and you've got alumni coming into town. So Stillwater goes from about 50,000 to about 100,000. It's very busy and just a really unique time to come to campus. But you do walk around, you get to see these really big displays, and then of course you have there's a pep rally and a homecoming parade, and it all ends with the homecoming football game. So it's a really unique celebration to Stillwater. And I see someone has raised their hand and there's some questions. I've just got a couple more slides, and then the rest we can devote to, we can just have a discussion. I'm gonna get through these here. So it might not be feasible to tour campus, but it's something that I always like to throw out there. If you ever are able to come by campus, we would welcome you and be happy to show you around. However, this link is to a 360-degree virtual campus tour, so you can walk through a lot of our facilities on campus, including Edmund Lowe Library, which is the building you see on your screen here. And definitely connect with the College of Arts and Sciences, with Cass, and also connect with at BNOSU Cowboy. This is the undergraduate admissions social media. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat as well. So we look forward to connecting with you there. And thank you once again for joining. I'm going to hop over now to the question and answer box. And I guess I can, there we go. Okay, I wanted to know more about internship and work programs along with studies. So as far as work programs, I'll speak a little bit, and then Carla, if you have anything to add, please jump in. As an international student, if you're here on an F1 visa, you are able to work up to 20 hours per week on campus, and there are usually plenty of jobs either within dining across the different departments. So there's usually opportunities as far as that goes. Carla, can you speak to any internship opportunities?
So we do have some internships available. The internships typically go on you looking for them, and then we can help you with the process. We have the Office of Career Services within CAS. That's what they're here for. So if you know, I want to do an internship, I don't know which ones are available that go hand in hand with what I've studied. So all of these questions that you might have, we do have an office that is specifically up here to help you with that, with internships, or if you're about to graduate, to help you with finding a full-time job. They host different fairs where the companies come into campus, and then you just give them your resume, and then they call you. Some of the internships that our computer science students have gone to, it's software development with Amazon, computing intern for Texas Instruments, and intern in Textron Aviation in Wichita, Kansas. So those are just some examples of what our students have done. But the good thing about computer science is that it's a field that you can intern into any industry that you want to go into.
Okay, and does OSU have available hostel facilities? So yes, the on-campus housing that I spoke to, I'm not sure, you might have sent that about the time I was talking about it, but we do have the traditional dorms, the suites, or the apartments available. Again, they are required for the first year, but you can live there all 4 years if that's your preference. It's completely up to you after the first year. Okay, and what about field projects for practical experience?
So that goes hand in hand with the internships. And also we have some courses that are what we call capstone courses. So your junior, senior year, you take these courses, but you're the one developing a project on your own, obviously with the help of one of our professors, but it's your project, you're the one working on it. And we have a lot of research opportunities. So you can work with our professors, you can work with graduate students. So the opportunities are there as far as like field experience. What the opportunity looks like, that's more on what you're wanting to do. So that's why we have these one-on-one appointments available. So we can see, like, if you tell us, I want to go into the health industry, then we can tell you what kind of internships our students have done, what kind of research our faculty are currently doing that it's related to health field. So this is why we have the one-on-ones, but we do have a lot of opportunities for field experience.
Yeah, and I would echo that. Just a great thing about OSU, because we are a research university and there's research happening, no matter if you choose computer science or something else, more than likely there's research happening in that field. So you will have the opportunity all across campus to get involved. You just have to make sure that you communicate that with your advisor. And the hostel fees, okay, so our housing fees, if we go back to that overall cost, it's included in there. So the rough estimate is about $9,300 for housing and meals, and that's for the full year. Obviously, if you choose a traditional, our traditional dorms where it's 2 people per room, those might be a bit less expensive or a bit more affordable. And then if you choose all the way the apartments where you have the most privacy, those are going to be a bit more. But the estimate that we give is about $9,000 for a full academic year. Okay, do we know when we could possibly expect astrophysics as a minor?
We are not currently looking into that, again, because you can get those classes within the physics minor. So we only have physics at the moment, and that's what we are looking into for the near future.
Okay. And then this one, let's see.
This one, it's a little long and I already read it. So okay. They're asking about the languages so I brought up Java, C++, and Python. They're asking about the other languages that are out there that are more specific for like Mac app developments and things like that. So the 3 languages that I brought up, those are the ones that everyone in the program learns. But then if you have some specific ones, if you do want to go into app development, you will learn the the languages that go hand in hand with that. You don't have to work that out and figure out with the languages that you already have. The reason why we put so much emphasis on Java is because most of the other languages are based on Java. So if you have that foundation, it will be easier for you to figure out the other languages, but you will learn the languages that need to be learned in a specific field once you go into those classes. But the three that I brought up, again, those are the ones that everyone in the program will learn.
All right, thank you. I think Kashish, I believe you were raising your hand. Do you have a question?
Nupur, can we unmute Kashish for a second so that she can ask her question?
Give me a minute.
While she does that, here in the chat, I put the link for the computer science video that I was trying to show you all. And I also put my email address in case you want to connect with me, set up an appointment or things like that.
Just a second.
Or Kashish, is it possible for you to write your question in the Q&A tab?
Kashish, you can talk now.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my question was that can I get a detailed descriptions of what sort of financial aid can be offered to students who have a high merit score and are quite good and, you know, not that much good, but yeah, they have an average co-curricular level achievements also. And they have work experience also. I mean, internships also, 1 or 2 internships they have.
Okay, so our university assured scholarships is just going to be that GPA and the test score. So they range from $4,000 to $10,000 a year that we're able to award. So we actually don't, I know I get asked sometimes about essays or letters of recommendation. That's not required for our university assured. That would just be the GPA and a test score, and that's it. As far as competitive awards that are available once you're in the college, Carla, do you have any that you'd like to talk about? Or
So every department has different scholarships, and we look at your resume. So you were talking about internships. Whenever you're doing your application, the things that you have to make sure that you do is set up or like declare a major, because that will go directly into your department. So once the assured scholarship is done, then we looked into competitive scholarships, and you don't have to do an extra application for that. You just have to make sure that the essays and the resume are done within your admission application. We send those to the department, and they will look at the highest achieving students, what kind of internships you've done, what kind of field experience you have, and they are able to provide some money. And those are 2 different levels. So we have the college level. So as long as you are a College of Arts and Science student, you can qualify for those. And then we have also the department level. So in this case, if you want to go into computer science, the computer science department has some money available that goes to the students that are highest achieving and like you mentioned, that have more experience. So that's where your essays and resume come into play from your admissions application.
And ma'am, one more question was that what is the average SAT score that the university demands? I mean, average SAT score or IELTS band?
For IELTS, we need a 5.5 for admission, and then for scholarships, you would need to have a 6.0 or above. SAT, I'm not, we don't require it for international students. As far as the scholarships for international students, we don't require it for admission, excuse me, let me clarify there. But if you're wanting to qualify for scholarships with your SAT, then it starts at 1160 and goes up from there. But
thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Do you have any other questions?
Shashank, do you have any question to ask from both of them? Okay, I think we are done with the question and answer session. So thank you so much everyone for taking out time for today's session. I think it's time to conclude the session. Thank you so much, Carla, for being a part of this session and for speaking about number of courses to the students. Thank you so much, Audrey. Thank you so much, Shashank, for being here for the session, and all the students who have asked wonderful questions. And I hope they must have got the answers for their questions. Take care, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.